Last July, Egyptian military overthrew the democratically elected president. A decision on that aid could be announced within days. Abdallah Schleifer joins us from Skype right now in Cairo, where he's professor emeritus at the American University, as well as the former NBC Bureau Chief there. Abdallah, thank you for coming back to Xchange.
No, happy to be with you.
So what are you hearing about the possibility of American aid being cut off or dramatically reduced to Cairo?
Well, probably the same thing you are, which is there have been statements coming from the United States government in a peculiar way. In other words, they say they're denying the fact that they're going to cut all aid, thereby implying
that they may cut some.
A serious cut in aid, but it'll be targeted. But in other words, there's no question that that is right now something under serious consideration by the administration, to cut the aid to the Egyptian military and to cut some of the aid that's given to the Egyptian government for civilian projects.
So if this happens, what do you think is going to be the impact on Egypt, especially if they cut aid, let's say, to the military? This is still a very key ally to the United States in the Middle East.
It certainly is. And I must say that I find it very strange. I find it very strange policy because Egypt and its military is a major force of stability in the region, and to undermine it in any way, I mean, not that I think this is going to be a tremendous blow, because there are a lot of Arab states in the Arab Gulf, who are supportive, and it's very probable that they would fill in whatever is missing or has been cut out.
Well,
but the point is, it still is undermining it psychologically and politically, and that really doesn't make sense at all. I cannot understand the policy.
Well, I think the policy, but Abdallah, I think part of it is that under U.S. laws, I understand it, we cannot fund a government that had a coup, and I know the administration has avoided the word coup. Is that what you see is happening here? Was this a coup?
Well, first of all, the administration avoids the word, and so does the Egyptian armed forces. And but in a matter-of-fact way, you could phrase it and say there are two types of coups. There's a coup on behalf of the people, in response to a popular demand and a sense of oppression, or that a government is drifting to dictatorship, which was clearly the case here, or a coup against the people. Let me remind you, in 1930, just being elected by the democratic process doesn't make you a practitioner of democracy. In 1933, Hitler's Nazi party received a plurality of the votes in a free and democratic election.
Abdallah, what does the United States then have to do, and why do you think it's sending out these signals that it may cut aid?
Frankly, I can't understand it. I mean, it's very peculiar. Right now, the Egyptian army is battling terrorist forces in the Sinai, who have even spread their operations into what we could call the mainland of Egypt. And these are groups that are affiliated with Al Qaeda. And now the Muslim Brotherhood is not supporting them, but they themselves have declared that they're accelerating their action because they're supporting the outgoing regime, the Muslim Brotherhood regime. And this is Al Qaeda I'm talking about.
Sure.
And the Egyptian army is battling them, and we're threatening to cut Egyptian army aid. It doesn't make sense at all. I don't understand it.
Okay.
And
well, we'll see.
Maybe you can get somebody in Washington who could explain it.
Well, we've been trying.
But I think it's a very, very disastrous course.
Abdallah, thank you so much for your insight today. Abdallah Schleifer, former NBC News Bureau Chief in Cairo, with his insight on what's going on in Cairo and the possibility of us cutting aid to Egypt.